Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode on the SkizzleCraft server. Today we're starting episode 15, as you can see from that time lapse. I've been busy. I know it's been a couple of weeks, once again, since my last episode, but I got sick, completely lost my voice again, and decided to carry on working, but without being able to speak. So, as you can see, we have changed this whole section. Now, I was trying to find a way to incorporate the elements a little bit better. And when you've got a fire and elemental area covered in grass, it was kind of difficult. So I added in a lava lake that goes underneath the city. That needs moving. That kind of comes up in sections that you can see on the pathway. So we've got it a little bit here, going under here, splitting in different directions. And then I've added this little idea in here where the lava's breaking up through. Gives us a little bit more of our fire elemental theme, a little bit of particles with some campfires under there. I've got lots more of this to do. I've been moving it in this direction, so it kind of heads down here. So I was thinking of doing this as if it's flowing from the highest point, which is, well, it's not very high, but this is the highest point. So if it's kind of flowing in each direction away from here, and I'm going to have some of these breakout, like mini volcanoes, just scattered around kind of close to where you can see them on the pathway. And then obviously the biggest change you can see is I've changed the floor so it fits a little bit better in with the elemental theme, the fire elemental theme, than the grass. Now this took absolutely ages and a lot of resources, many shulkers of crimson nylium, many shulkers of netherwort blocks, and it's not finished. We've been trying to texture this a little bit. We did a little bit of testing in the creative world, and as you can see, this section I've done a little bit better. So if we come down here, we've got a little bit more texturing, not a lot, but just different colours added in, a little bit darker in the areas. We're missing a block here. A little bit darker in areas, kind of like up against the fences, around by the houses, under the bushes. Need a lot more, and this I'm going to extend it to the rest of the area as we build more houses as well. Not done any texturing around that one just yet. Around this I added in, because this is so red, I just added in the deep slates around it, but I'm going to add a little bit more texturing around that as well, and then probably a lot more when we come down in the hilly parts of the terrain. I added a few trees in, nether trees obviously. We'll add some more of this kind of thing in as well later. So we've still got lots more texturing to do. This is going to change as we build. And I'm going to be doing the same on the other areas. So that is going to be something that I have to do mostly off camera because it will be a bit boring. This area here, which is the water area, we're going to be doing in the blue nylium and find some other colours that work with it. Probably the nether woods will work. The warped wood will work well here. There goes my phone. I have got resources here. What was this for? Oh, this was for this building that I was working on as well. The wind section is quite difficult. I was thinking of turning this into kind of like a desert area, desert beach kind of area. That might fit well, especially once we get all the wind turbines in. And then obviously the earth area is going to be sticking with grass and mud. And this is going to have a lot more trees and plants in because this needs to be very overgrown. Yeah, so that is the plan. There's going to be lots of terraforming, and I'm not going to be doing all of it on camera. So I can do these in between. If I've got like half an hour here and there where I really don't have time to do much, then I'll just work on little sections of these. But I've got a lot of resource gathering to do for it as well. But today, what are we going to do today? I am going to work on some smaller projects. So first, I want to get a couple of the wind turbines built. I found a design. I can't remember who it is, but I will, I'll put a link in the description where I found the idea from, and then I just used the picture and went into Creative World and kind of, not quite copied, but used the design and edited it a little bit so it fits in size-wise with what I've got here. and then we'll go around and we'll build a couple of small houses. So I want to make sure we've got some houses in each section. The other thing we've got to do is to get the pathways done in the wind section. That means we've got the pathways everywhere. I have got blocks here, sticking kind of with the white block for this. I know greys are in it, but I think using diorite and calcite, there is a little bit of grey texture in there, but I think if we go too dark with the paths, it won't look as good. So there are lots of small things to do today. Not sure how much we're going to get done, but I think first things first, I'm going to grab a picture, my screenshots of the wind turbines I've done, and we'll get building one of these to start with. This section, but I wanted to keep it kind of around the tower, and too many is going to look, well, it's going to look a little bit silly if they're too close to each other. They do need a little bit of gap, and since this area over here is going to be a little bit more of a residential area, I'm going to do more houses over here than this section. I thought fewer wind turbines over here would be a little bit better. So as you can see, I also started terraforming this section. I still need to do the pathways, so that's not going to be left like that. But I went out and collected some sand just to kind of get an idea of how this is going to look, because I could do this in snow, but I think doing it in a desert kind of theme fits a little bit better with the wind theme. That wasn't very good landing. But we've got quite a few of the wind turbines built now, and I don't think I'm going to do any more of them. So the next thing I need to do over here is to finish this terraforming, and then we can start working on a few houses. Now, that wasn't very good landing. Now, because of the wind turbines, you wouldn't normally get houses or buildings around them, but I am going to do, maybe not up close, I am going to do houses and things in this section, but they're not going to be multi-story, so they're going to be like smaller houses, but larger in area. Like, so this might be done as a single house, but only a single story tall, if you get what I mean. So it fills it up without actually going too high up and kind of being too close to the wind turbines. But I'm liking how this is looking. So we have just found out that the server will be updating to 1.21 next week, I think it is, at the time of recording this, which means I can start doing the detailing inside the tower, which I've got planned out. I have been planning it in creative. So I'll need to do a little bit of gathering, especially tough blocks. I'll need to go do a little bit of mining. So I was thinking about taking a break from the building right now and going down doing a couple of hours of mining sessions. Now let's head back up. I spent about an hour mining in total. The majority of that was just tough, and as you probably saw, there was just a little section here. I think it was it this one? This little section had tough in, so I just started here, and this actually went on really far. So we went all the way up here. I've not even mined it all. because I just kind of ran out of space. All this and all this, like right the way through here, was just tough. So this was just solid tough vein. So I've just mined all this out, which gave us quite a lot. Also goes down here, up in this section. This is kind of where I stopped. So you can see there was a little bit more, but it's so easy to find now that I don't think I really needed to do any more. Let's see if I can find my way back out again. There's the stairs. So once I dug all that tuff out, just went down to bedrock level to try and get a little bit of resources. It's not like I really need anything. I think I've got enough of what I need already in my chests. So I don't really do a lot of resource mining unless I need something like tuff or andesite. That was the wrong one, but you can see we put the shulker boxes down. We've got 1, 2 of tuff, 3 of tuff, and then this one has got some more cobbled deep slate because that we were actually running low on. So I just went mining with my fortune pickaxe down there. A little bit extra tuff in my inventory. So we've got 3 shulker boxes of tuff. That is really loud. So let's just go and sleep and get rid of the thunderstorm. There we go. So 3 shulker boxes of tuff ready for when the server updates to 121. So I can start working with all those nice shiny tuff blocks. And we got nearly a stack of diamonds and some more redstone, some gold, some lapis, just to add to what we've already got in our supply. So we'll just throw them in here. Diamonds are in my ender chest, but that can go in there for now. And then redstone up here. So mining done for today. Now I need to go and get back to doing a little bit more building. But first things first, before I start any houses, I want to get the rest of the terraforming for this section over and done with. So if we fly over here, so we've got from here where the water is, and then once we go up the hill here, you can see where we've got this deep slate. It's just the border of our base area. So we need to terraform all this, and we're going to change it into desert. So I've got a few more shulker boxes of sand up there, so I'll go and collect them and we'll get this done. And just like that, we are done with this section. So as you can see, we've still got the pathways with the grass because I've not figured out how I'm going to do the path yet. These sections going up look a little bit odd at the minute because I'm trying something new than I did with the paths over the other side, where with the other ones I did a direct diagonal, like completely straight, but up here I want to try and see if I can find a way to curve this round as we've got here, so we can have a little bit of a curve going up the hills maybe, and see if it works. I'm not quite sure. I might have to change this corner so it is a little bit more curved rather than a right angle. But we've got all the way up to the border done. So we will need to gather a lot of resources for this pathway when I've got it figured out. And then we've got bridges to build both here and the other section over there, which is probably not going to be done with the pathway. I'm going to do that as a separate episode probably. I'll just work on all the bridges together because there is 3 or 4 bridges in each of the sections. I don't think the 2 over there have got any water. If I remember rightly, it's just this one and the water section with bridges. The small one there, 3 or 4 over there, which are all small ones. And then I'm going to have the big bridge joining the earth and the wind sections over here. So I need to figure out some bridges. I'm not very good with bridge designs. But right now, we've got all these blocks ready for the pathways. It is nowhere near enough. So if we're just going to take a few of these out, I think might as well take everything out, and we can try and start maybe just with this section right here. So we go over here and have a look at the way I've done the earth section. I kind of did it a bit wrong, so I was thinking of having these smoother blocks, kind of, you know, if it's getting worn down when you're walking. But I filmed on the outside, and it would make more sense that people walk in the center, so the flatter blocks would be in the center, apart from when they go around these corners. So I was like, if I was walking on this path and going that way, I would kind of do this. So down the center would be smoother, And across the corners would be smoother, but around the sides where, like here, where people don't walk as much, would be more of the bricks. So if I can figure this pattern out using the blocks I've got over in the wind section, I can use something to add these little like shortcut sections over, maybe end stone or something like that, that'll fit in with the sand we've got over there. I need to do a little bit more detailing over there. I don't just want it complete sand. But I'm going to have to try this out because I don't know how it's going to look, especially now that the whole terrain here is so bright with the sand, whether white would be too much or not. So adding these blocks in, how I thought about, so can't fit in more. So the bricks are going to be more on the outside. And then we're going to have the calcite. I think I'm just going to do calcite at the minute. I will add diorite in later, see if it works. Yeah, it's a bit too dark, the diorite. I don't know whether I like that. I think we'll take it out. We can try it later if we really need to, but I think we'll just stick with the 2 blocks for now. And I'm going to kind of randomize it a little bit. If we go down here a second, I've just got an idea. If we've got corners like this, I could use the diorite in these little corners where people would like cut the corners a little bit going around. That could be a good place to use the diorite rather than mixing it in completely. But that's something I've got to do later. There's no corners on this section. For now, we'll just add the calcite in. We do need a few of the bricks in the center as well, not just calcite. But we can always edit it a little bit later. I'm not quite sure how I feel about this at the minute. It's quite bright. Let's shove the diorite in there for now. I feel like this needs something on the edges. It's very flat and a bit bright. I don't really like it. This here, we've got like completely flat that goes into the sand. There needs to be kind of an edging on it. Oops. On the other sections, we kind of had pathways on one, so it went down 1 pixel, and then we had moss carpets on another, which went up 1 pixel. And in the water section, we've got stairs, so that gives it the depth. So this needs some kind of depth. I think I'll go try a few things in our creative world for a minute. Okay, so I'm back, and I have tried a few different things, none of which I really liked. There was snow blocks, which were actually too big. They're more than 1 pixel high, so they didn't look right. The white carpet kind of clashed. It was even brighter than the quartz block, so that was way too much. And then there was things like pressure plates and stuff, which then, you know, doesn't really look right because it doesn't fill a full square. This one actually looked the best, being the light grey carpet. The dark grey carpet was too dark. This kind of gives a nice little contrast. So I did look at the tower here when I got back because I don't like the path and realised we have got multiple colours in this. We've got greys, we've got blacks. So why do we need a white path? So I was testing out this in contrast to the sand, and I think looking at both of these, I actually prefer this colour. Not this exactly, but this colour scheme for the pathways rather than the white. So now I've just gathered lots of tuff. The server is updating for 1.21 in a couple of weeks, so I might leave all these pathways in this section till afterwards and use some of the tuff blocks, the new tuff blocks, the nice ones, and make a pathway and just use maybe a bit of gravel for the rough sections where it's worn down. But that's going to take a little bit of thinking, a little bit of testing. But I think for today, I'm going to leave the pathway. I'm going to leave this here for now. But I'll probably dig it up. I don't like it. I don't like the white, so there's no point in continuing with it. And we'll figure out the grey later. I'm going to stick with, the what carpet, because I can put the frog lights under it like that. So I think now I'm going to run around and just add frog lights to all these, and as much of the carpet as I can add all the way around from what I've already gathered. And then we'll leave the path here until another day. So I've added every little bit of light grey carpet that I could to the outside of these sections, and it is all lit up as much as possible from the pathways with frog lights. As you can see, I've added some more frog lights in, but yeah, I ran out of grey wool. So I do have 2 light grey sheeps in the sheep farm. So I'll just have to wait and finish this up afterwards. And then, like I said, when we get to 121, then we can figure out what we're going to do with the pathway. Another part of the paths that I need to figure out at some point is over in the water section. We did all this part on the ground, but then I've marked out where I want a pathway going over the water, because the base does actually come all the way out here. And with it being the water section, we're going to have some houses and other things in the water, which means we'll need walkways. So I'll need to figure out a nice little walkway to do over the water here that also fits with the colour scheme. I'll probably try and stick with the path colour. I could try and see if it's possible just to do this exact path across, but at water level. Then, you know, it's pretty easy. Fits in the same, and I can just add maybe an edge to it. I mean, if I did this, I could add some kind of edge into it, which like support beams or something along that goes down into the water. Then it still fits with this, and it does make sense that it's in water and being held up. But I think that is all I've got time for today, guys. I've done quite a lot of building. I mean, the wind turbines didn't take crazy amount of time each, but the terraforming did take quite a lot, and as you've seen at the beginning of the episode, I've done quite a lot of terraforming so far. So I'm going to be continuing doing the terraforming, but I'm not going to be recording. We don't really want the same thing over and over again. This section is going to be coloured probably with blue nylium, which means I've got a lot more gathering to do. And I need to figure out some colours that go with it for texturing. There's more texturing to do over here, but I'm going to do that as I'm building houses, because there's no point in texturing a section that's going to be covered up with the house floor. So hopefully we can start building some more houses soon, because it's been a while since I've done a house. But like I said, that is all I've got time for today, guys. So I hope you liked the video. Let's see if we can land on here without falling down. Yes. So we are going to leave today's episode right here. So thank you guys so much for watching. I would love to read your comments on what you think of the wind turbines, and, you know, should I add more? Is it enough? How should I connect these to the tower? Because, well, really it would go underground and you won't see it. But should we add some wires in, some power lines and things like that in here? Any ideas are always appreciated. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like if you did like the video, and as always, please subscribe if you haven't already. I know I don't ask every episode, but it really does help. So thanks guys for watching. I'll see you all next time.